HomeCorp manufactures an adhesive product that passes through two departments. Data for the October for the first department follows. So here again, we're going to put everything together that we've worked through this chapter. Again, we've got, our raw materials section. It goes into our WIP in this specific department, so we'll just call it first department. And then that will move on to finished goods. We need to compute the equivalent units for June's activity in the first department. So we need to know what is the equivalent unit. So again, we have an amount here. We start here and then we finish with some. So this will all move through. Most of this will all move through, but whatever doesn't will be what we have as our closing balance. So we need to know if this closing balance is, I don't know, in this case, 60% complete or 40% complete. Well, how much do we say of that is complete? Well, 40% of that. So we need to determine how many have gone through, how many are left here, and how much we should say has gone through, or the equivalent. So equivalent means our best guess to. So to do that, we need to do it by both materials and conversion, and need to determine the equivalent units of production of both. So we need to know how much have we transferred out of the department. Now we can previously do that with our opening balance, what we've started minus what we finished, but they've done it already for us right here, which is extremely helpful. It's 560 plus 60 is 620 minus 40 is 580. It's already there for us. Sorry, 60 plus 560 is 620 minus 40 is 580. And here we've got our materials and our conversion. So again, this is the direct materials, and conversion is our labor and overhead. So we're breaking these costs down between conversion and materials. And so the amount that we've transferred out will remain the same for both of them. It's 580,000. We need to add what we have again here left over. Well, what we have left over is 40,000. So how much of the 40,000? So we're going to add our work in process. This is our closing, or our October 31st. And for materials and for conversion costs. Materials and conversion, again, we both have 40,000 here, but they each have a separate amount that is complete. 40% with respect to materials and 20% with respect to conversion. So here I'm going to add 40%, 20%. And I've got 16,000 and 8,000. That gives us a total equivalent units of production of 596,000 or 588,000. And that answers our first question. Now determine the cost per equivalent unit for June. Now, these are equivalent units, so now we just need to determine the total cost. So let's take so we're going to determine our cost per equivalent unit, and we'll follow, again, the same materials and conversion. So what was our cost at the beginning work in process? 68,000 for materials, 30,000 for conversion. So this is our beginning WIP cost, 68,000, 30,000. Costs added during October. $170,000. So we get a total cost for each one, for each set of costs here below. Now, how much is it per equivalent unit? Well, our equivalent units we've already calculated above. We've got 596,000 and 588,000. So our cost per equivalent unit, if we divide this by this, we get 83 cents. If we divide this by this, we get 0.34. And if we were to add these up, we would get 1.17 total cost per unit. And that's putting it all together.